of his eye. Sit right down, we're gonna give the scoop with Ryan Pfeiffer and Lisa Dupe. Scamma ding dong loop de loop. This is the story of a guy named Mr. Boop.
You're listening to Being Mr. Boop. Betty Boop is fun.
She is.
My name is Ryan Pfeiffer, and I am Mr. Boop.
Who wrote that one?
You.
Who wrote that one?
You.
Me? That's a
yes,
classic
because
name.
you are Mr. Boop.
I'm Mr. Boop.
And it's
And,
Wednesday,
yeah.
December 9th, 2000, whoever you are. It's Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. Today we're reading the 205th ever Mr. Boop strip. What happens in today's Mr. Boop? You.
Me? What? Huh?
You.
In today's Mr. Boop,
Where am I?
there is a portrait of a healthy relationship.
Portrait?
Yes, portrait of a healthy relationship.
Okay.
What, is it not a portrait of a healthy relationship?
I mean, I wrote it, so I assume it to be true.
Yeah. Putting words in my mouth, right?
Go on now. What happens?
Let's
Let's start to driving it. All right.
In
Four
we
panels.
have 4 panels, classic setup
Mr.
from
Boop.
Mr. Boop. We see Flappershot, Alec, and Betty. Alec to
Better
the
than
left.
slapper
Quacker
shot.
shot.
Quacker shot?
Yeah.
A slapper shot. That's what they have in, a quacker shot. That's what they have in shoe.
I thought, oh, okay.
Because it's
Okay.
ducks. I thought it was ducks. I guess it's just birds, but I thought it was ducks when I was a kid.
Alec
'Cause they
and
got, like,
Betty
weird
appear
beaks.
to be in the throes of conversation.
Gonna be
Alec says,
in the throes of something else tomorrow. Hey,
Whoa!
whoa,
Amen.
All right. Whoa. Hey, we're quacking over here. We're quacking up. It's shoe time.
Alec
Um,
says, please don't ever leave me.
And Betty says, I won't. Alec is on the left. Betty is on the right.
This is like more of that,
She's taller than him.
more of that.
Betty's facing forward mostly, and he's kind of. I mean, he's never really facing totally forward. I guess he's just facing the direction he usually is.
Yes. This is more playing on that, what's it called? Fake positive relationship thing, or healthy relationship. That was already peeling back. This is just like a complete...
I guess.
What do you mean? What else is this?
I guess.
He was playing with making fun of that concept in the earlier books, and even in this book. But this is like, no, this isn't.
Well, yeah, because we're back to the beginning now. We're back to season 1, so he's just doing the same jokes again, but deteriorating into madness even more.
But this is a toxic relationship, as we see here.
Well, now it's like it's the jokes from season 1, but now, panel 2, he says, "I'm serious."
Whoa, he's serious.
It's serious now. It's no longer jokes. It's the same jokes, but serious. It's the edgy, dramatic reboot. Reboop.
In the original,
We gotta be dramatic. We gotta be edgy and serious too, Lisa.
I hate minorities.
I mean, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be like cynical and mean to be edgy and dramatic.
I hate minorities.
Oh, I see. I thought you said I hate my marriage.
No, I said minorities.
I hate podcasting. Well, that's nothing new.
We say that all the time.
Yeah, we said that the whole time. I love podcasting.
Ooh.
It's the edgy reboot. We podcasting.
Earlier on, I remember in book 1, he said something similar, but he thought to himself, I know this is toxic, but blah blah blah, or whatever. Remember, now he doesn't know this is toxic.
Or he doesn't make a point to acknowledge it anyway.
But also, it was more tongue-in-cheek initially, but he's just stripped away that, you know.
It's stripped away a little bit. I mean, because it's just so, like, status quo at this point.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
Well, like, this is just like, we know how it goes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't. It's like, so there's less emphasis on the actual punchline of it because it's just like, yeah, we know, we get it.
I don't think that's what this is. I don't think it's not just another version of that joke. It's like a takedown of that joke. in a
It's
way.
not really.
Like
I don't feel like it's really deconstructing it much.
Mhm. I don't know. It's more
Well,
stripping
let's
it.
finish
Yeah.
describing the strip before we get into that.
Mhm.
Panel 3, it's the exact same shot as in panel 2, which was a close-up of Alec. I didn't say that. He
Yeah.
looked worried. In panel 3, he's smiling all of a sudden. He's grinning. Not like a wife face, but he's just smiling, toothy. And he says, I'll flip out.
He will flip out. It's true.
That's I don't know why the synopsis said it's a healthy relationship. That's very unhealthy.
Yeah, this is pretty toxic.
I'll
I don't know
flip
about you.
out if you leave
Mr.
me.
Boop is pretty problematic. He's sort of don't know if I can.
Is that a
read it.
threat? I'll flip out. You're like,
Yeah,
what's he gonna do?
probably hurt her.
I think all he really means is that he'll like flip out. Like, he doesn't mean he's gonna hurt her. Like,
No, I mean, I think it's more in the sense of when he was talking in the few strips back when he said, if my life was any different, I would completely flip out. It's more of an
Right.
extension of that.
yeah, not flip out on her, but flip out in
Yeah.
like mentally,
He's gonna, go mad, if you will.
as if he hasn't already. Panel 4,
Amen.
reverse shot, close up of Betty. She looks slightly worried, but she's got the same like position where she had this in panel 1 too. She's like holding her hands in front of herself, and she's grinning. She's meeting his grin, though she looks worried with her eyebrows. She's only really showing it with her eyebrows, which are like inverted. And she says, "I won't ever leave you."
I feel like this feels more, I don't know, this feels real, man.
Okay, I see that a little bit. It does. I mean, this could be under
This is a
different
real- I
circumstances.
feel like this
be
is a
like
real- Yeah,
almost real.
and I feel like it's
Dialogue.
directly commenting on. It's directly commenting
This
on
dialogue's
how
so
this is-
realistic.
Whoa.
What a great author.
He's pretty, but I feel like he is commenting on how it's. I mean, he's commenting on these types of relationships, right? Or at least,
Yeah, you said that recently. I'm not sure how much of a point he's actually trying to make there.
earlier I think he was talking about people who are overly positive in their relationships and like post about it, I guess. But this is more about people who are straight up toxic.
I would think that this would try to be like an extension of that. Like, he's like, because if what you were saying before, I'm gonna make your point for you. If
Sure, why not?
if what you were saying before, if it's like, oh, it's talking about wife guys and stuff, is like how obsessed they are with their relationship and posting it all the time. This could be an extension of that, where it's like they're so dependent on it that it's like they cannot, if anything happens to it, they'll flip out. Oh, slight difference between panel 2 and 3. There's no hair under his ear in panel 3, but there is in panel 2. He forgot to, I don't know. He didn't do it. It's not important, but it's there.
Hey, there's a fact about this. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's not in panel 1 either.
I feel like it's just, I wouldn't say that if their positive relationship was different, they'd both flip out. I think it's more just like you don't see how it can, sort of behavior can descend into straight up, what's it called? What's that word called? Fucking guilt tripping tactics and shit like.
I will say it doesn't feel as like on closer examination. It doesn't seem as Betty is not as reciprocative. Is that the word?
What do you? I don't know. Sure.
Reciprocative. Come on. What is the word?
Depends on what word you're trying to say, because it sounds nothing like apples if that's what you're trying to go for.
No, we're done with that. That was yesterday. Fuck.
Reciprocate.
She's not. I mean, she's. before, when he was like so obsessed with her, she was like equally obsessed with him. This does not seem equal.
Yeah.
I guess it was never truly equally obsessed, like, because she's Betty Boop, and he's not. But like even more now, she's just like, yesterday she's like, I'm really happy being married to Matt. Like, I'm really happy, and it's like she's almost trying to convince us. But even ignoring that, even if she is saying she's really happy, it's like that's completely different than saying, if he leaves me, I don't know what I'll do. I'm gonna be I'll flip out. Those are different levels of devotion there. The dynamic of the relationship is out of whack.
Yeah, I feel like this is the woman beneath Betty coming through, right? She's resisting in a way.
Not in this strip.
Well, I mean, like in just her scared glance that we see in panel 4.
Of
like,
yesterday.
Oh, I wouldn't leave.
But in this strip, it's just, I don't. All
no,
I see really,
like she looks scared in panel 4 to me of this one.
She's like nervous. She's
Yeah,
like because he's acting weird. You could read it in like, because of the story in general, she's kind of being like yesterday, she's like trying to convince us nothing's wrong. But today, just this strip alone, it's like that isn't really there specifically.
Yeah, but I mean,
the only thing that's really there is that she's reacting to the energy he's giving.
Yeah, but we still have the context of 204 to add that. You're not meant to read these in a bubble,
You are to an extent.
I don't think so.
Each strip is at least somewhat standalone.
I think if you're reading the strips as standalone by this point, there's something.
No,
I don't know. I don't think you're getting the full thing.
You're right, but like in terms of their reactions to each other, it's like their reactions to each other are just going off of like the events that are happening within a single strip.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't.
I'm drinking pineapple soda. I totally forgot.
Into book 3, everything was pretty much going into each other. But I know what you mean with this. It's not a seamless, continual story. But I mean, like, you have the context of that. The list that I think he wants you to be aware. Like, I think he wants you to be thinking about strip 204.
Right now?
Yeah, looking at the.
I don't think so. I think it's just something you're supposed to take them all in general, like you can kind of slowly see something developing, but I don't think 204 is directly influencing 205 at all. I think he just kind of has a general energy he's trying to go for.
Yeah, but I think that 204 is what keys you off that he's going for that energy. You continue to think about it.
I think I'm reading this specific strip slightly differently than you. Just in that, I mean, like, I do think she's like that, but I don't think that it's meant to be. I think we're supposed to know that she's like that even in this strip, but I don't think it's specifically meant to be shown like that here. I think she's really just meant to be reacting to what he's saying.
I don't know. I think that I guess we have a different reading of it. I just think that this is clearly meant to be like.
Because look, in the last strip, she's like, she's happy, but then in the last panel, she like there's a little bit of a tell that she's not.
Yeah.
In this strip, she's happy, but she's not giving a tell in panel 4. She's reacting to his weirdness. Slightly.
Yeah, but I guess so. But I think
That's
the fact
what I'm
that
saying.
she's reacting to his weirdness is we're meant to add that on to what we saw yesterday. We're meant to.
Well, I think even
like,
if she was happy, like she could still be like that.
I don't know.
It's just that
Alec would write it that way.
I think it's
Fictional
also meant
Alec,
to
I mean.
show that they're. I mean, because the dynamic is not the same as it was at first.
Yeah, to show that she's also yeah. I
Because
guess
he's that dedicated that he'd flip out, but she's less like.
have we described panel 4 yet? Have we described?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
She's like, okay, I hear you, and not like, of course, I'm Betty Boop, you know. I feel like that's how she would kind of act it. Like, if we try to picture what this strip would be like in the beginning, I think Alec would pretty much be acting the same way. I think Betty would not. I think Betty would be like...
No, I don't think Alec
more
would.
Understanding. You don't think Alec would act like this in the beginning?
There'd be more romanticism in the way he'd say it. He'd be like, if you leave
Maybe,
me,
but
I'll
I still
flip
feel
out.
like everything he's saying here is things he would feel all this. But yes, the delivery of it all is like,
it adds that level.
It's the tone and the delivery of it all is not how it would be in the beginning. But everything he's saying is like the type of things he would be thinking at the beginning of the strip anyway.
I think in book 1 it would be like, if my wife Betty Boops ever leaves me, I'll flip out.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And
I mean it.
I mean, he'd think in the next panel like, that's toxic, but I mean it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I know that's not a way to be in a relation, you know, but now he's lost all self-awareness.
Well, I think part of that is, I mean, he's talking to the audience there, and I guess there is still a little bit of talking to the audience, but he's acting less like he's in a like he's less like he's not self-aware in general anymore. Like he was self-aware in the beginning there about himself and about the fact that he's in a comic strip to an extent, but now it's just like he's so far into the illusion that it's like he's not in this is just his life. The comic strip is his life, and his own illusion is his life.
Yeah, he's thinking, he's like that Alec.
And the real Alec in real life believes this too.
Yeah, it's like that quote from, what was it?
In fact, does the real Alec say about this strip? What is the Patreon description
Alec
say?
Robbins says, "How are we all feeling? How are we all feeling?
I'm slightly tired.
Yes, but
What about you, Lisa?
yeah, I'm all right. I'm a bit nervous. There's some stuff going on right now, and it's a bit spooky.
Oh,
but it's
in real
fine.
life?
Yeah, but it'll probably be fine. The podcast comes first, I guess.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I feel like in that interview he did with the V thing, I called it The Verge, but it's not called that. I don't remember what it's called. He talks about how he doesn't. Yeah, there's an element of falling into a fantasy here.
Vice.
And Vice. In the Vice interview, he talks about.
Was it? It wasn't Vice, was it?
It was Vice. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Whatever. It was something.
It was not. It was not Vice.
What was it?
I don't know.
Damn it. We'll never know.
Oh, Verve.
It was the Verve. I guess I got
No,
it
it
right.
wasn't Verge. It was Verve.
Oh. Yeah, and I guess by this point in the strip, he's not even. Yeah, he's what you were saying. He's not acknowledging the audience. He just believes this is his reality. You know,
because it is.
Yeah, this is his reality, of course. And maybe
He's convinced me.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's all I've seen of his reality.
I mean, what else are we supposed to believe?
Yeah.
How am I feeling? I'm feeling fine. It's all real, you know?
Yeah.
There we go.
I think we should end this one.
Well, you've been listening to Being Mr. Boop, proud supporters of Land of the Lost 2009. You can visit the show's website at www.beingmrboop.com for our full catalog of episodes. For more updates, follow at Mr. Boop Pod on Twitter. There was a bit of an awkward transition to the one line from the other there, because usually there's more dialogue about signing up to host a podcast, but you can't do it anymore. It's done. You missed your chance.
You had like a full year.
You had over a year to sign up and you didn't. It's on
well,
you.
I mean, thank you to everyone who did.
Yes.
But you didn't.
But we're not talking to them. We're talking to you.
The people who signed up to host the podcast haven't listened. What are you doing listening?
What are you talking to you, Ron?
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a name. I just thought of my cat's name. I'm talking to my cat. My cat didn't come on the podcast.
You could have let him. Isn't this a bit that Being Jim Davis used to do?
Ron will come on the podcast. What you mean? No, they had the guy from Cincinnati, Ohio. I don't remember his name. That's not what I'm doing.
Sure it is.
My cat. I'm gonna grab my cat. I'm at Kenny116 on Twitter, and at Semi Sweet Sauce for everything else I make. Lisa.
Find me online. Look up Lisa Dupe. Whatever.
Whatever. Thank you and good night. Thank you and good night.
You and good night.
Thank you and good night.
Nice. What a pace.
This podcast was brought to you by the Pitch Drop Podcast Network. Like what you just heard? Support the show by going to patreon.com/pitch drop. And while you're at it, check out pitchdrop.net for more of this and other shows.